Hello, everyone. Welcome to our class number 18. This is the penultimate class. Tomorrow we'll have the final um, review, and today is actually the final class. Okay. So happy to see you walk. I know at the beginning there were more people, and it always happens, and towards the end, due to many reasons, people drop. And I still believe that due to some reason, inconveniences, um, things happen. But I'm so glad that you are all with us until now. Do you like to recite another chanting today?
Yes,
Like
Panchi.
like yesterday, we were chanting Mangala Sutta. Would you like to chant Karaniya Metta Sutta today?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. It's a very short sutta, so maybe we can also chant together. All right. Let's get started. කරණීය මත්ථ කුසලේන යංතං සංතං පදං අභිසමිච්ච සක්කෝජුච සූජුච සුවචෝ චස්ස මුදුවනතිමානී සංතුස්සකෝච සුභරෝච අපකිච්චෝච සල්ලහුක බුද්ධි සංතින්ද්‍රියෝච නිපකෝච අපගබ්බෝ කුලේසු අනනුගිද්ධෝ නච කොද්දං සමාචරේ කිංචි යේන විඤ්ඤූ පරේ උපවදෙය්‍යුං සුඛිනෝ ආඛේමිනෝ හොන්තු සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා යේකේචි පාන භූතත්ථේ තසාවාධාවරාවා අනවසේසා දීඝාවායේ මහංතාවා මජ්ජිමා රස්සකානුකතුලා දිඨාවායේව අද්දිඨා යේච දුරේ වසන්ති අවිදුරේ භූතාවා සංභවේ සීවා සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා නපරෝ පරං නිකුබ්බේත්හ නාතිමඤ්ඤේත කත්ථ චිනං කංචි ව්‍යාරෝසනා පටිඝ සංඥා නාඤ්ඤමඤ්ඤස්ස දුක්ඛමිච්ඡේය මාතා යථා නියං පුත්තං ආයුසායක පුත්ත මනුරක්ඛේ එවං පි සබ්බ භූතේසු මාන සංභාවයේ අපරිමාණං මෙත්තං ච සබ්බ ලෝකස්මින් මාන සංභාවයේ අපරිමාණං උද්ධං අධෝච තිරියං ච අසංබාධං අවේරං අසපත්තං තිට්ඨං චරං නිසින්නෝවා සයානෝවා යාව තස්ස විගත මිද්ධෝ ඒතං සතින් අධිඨේය බ්‍රහ්මමේතං විහාරං ඉදමාහෝ දිට්ඨිංච අනුපගම්ම සීලවා දස්සනේන සංපන්නෝ කාමේසු විනේයගේධං නහි ජාතු ගබ්බසෙය්‍යං පුනරේතිති ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු තේ ජය මංගලං एतेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु ते जय मङ्गलम् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु ते जय मङ्गलम्. Please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Please take a good long deep breath and hold it for a few seconds. And then slowly release and relax. One more time, taking a good long deep breath through the nostrils and breathing out through the nostril as well. Release and relax. And now, gently and compassionately open your eyes with a more positive energy, loving kindness, gentleness towards yourself and towards everyone else. Okay. Okay, one word reflection. All right. So today we will also deal with another topic that we have already touched before, but we will discuss a different angle of this topic: the environment, impact of Buddhist culture on environment. So on August 25, we had Buddhist perspective on the environment, and today we also discuss about the impact of Buddhist culture on the environment. So there's a little difference when it comes to these two topics. So the first topic was meant for the focus was the doctrinal and ethical teachings of the Buddha related to nature. And then we had the key angle, how Buddhist principles such as Paticca Samuppada, Ahimsa, Samma Ajiva, and Metta, Karuna shape our understanding of and relationship with the environment. So we had some discussions overlapping with today's lesson as well. But I think it is going to be okay. And the scope was mostly theoretical and spiritual, teaching suttas, philosophical perspectives, and then, for example, Jataka stories, Buddhist attitude towards trees, rivers, living beings, monastic rules, and not harming plants, etc. So these were um, the the focus and the scope of the lesson that we discussed before. Today, the impact of Buddhist culture on environment. Here, it's historical and cultural practices of Buddhist communities and how they have influenced environmental care. Can you can you see?
Yes, we will see your PowerPoint.
Okay. Um, so, for example, some of the Buddhist kings, some of the monasteries, and even lay communities, and so many cultural traditions, how they have applied real life environmental management. For example, in Thailand and Taiwan and other countries, they also have like different ways to protect the nature environment. In Thailand, the forest monks are they ordain the huge trees to protect them from being cut. And in Taiwan, I think they also have. They go offline. Um, can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. I see here Zoom connecting again. I don't know why,
Oh,
but you can see, right? And it's
yeah,
okay.
we can hear you and see.
Okay. Okay. So in Taiwan, they have green. Um,
Oh, but we don't see your PowerPoint anymore.
I think that is why. So it is connecting this. Don't know why.
Yeah, I think reconnecting.
Is that okay now? Not yet.
Not the PowerPoint yet.
Hmm. There was an issue with T-Mobile last few days, and then we paid a bill also. I don't know why it's still not working. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let me restart. I think it is something to do with the machine. Is that okay now?
Uh,
No, we cannot see the presentation.
Hmm.
maybe you have to click on the sharing again.
Wait a minute. Stop sharing.
Or if you re-enter, I think we might have to make you co-host again.
Can you see me now? Okay, let me enter again. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me. Can you co-host me, please?
I did it already.
Okay.
You are.
Okay. Thank you. So in today's session, we will discuss more about the cultural aspect of and the impact of the Buddhist communities um, towards nature, environment. For example, Emperor Ashoka bans animal slaughter, and some forest monasteries preserving ecosystems and cultural traditions of tree ordinations in Thailand, environmental rituals in Sri Lanka, and modern Buddhist environmental movements. We can take these things into consideration in today's session. What do you see here? Take a good look at this picture, and you see Prince Siddhartha's birth, right? And but I want actually you to see there is a very important message here, that there is a tree under a sala tree. He was born under a tree, right? So this was from National Museum of Asian Art, Washington, D.C. You can see very early picture from 3rd century CE, from Pakistan or Afghanistan. And over here, what do you see? You can see the Ashokan pillar, right? So a century or something after the Buddha, maybe 2 centuries after the Buddha, few centuries, of course. And he installed an Ashokan pillar here, saying that the Buddha was born here. This was one of the earliest historical evidences that we have. So it is said here. This is also There is also a Maya Devi temple. Maya is Prince Siddhartha's mother, Queen Mahamaya. And over here, in this landmark Ashokan pillar, it is mentioned in Brahmi script, Hida Buddha Jate Sakyamuni. Shakyamuni Buddha was born here. So the UNESCO also has officially recognized this place as the birthplace of the Buddha, 249 BCE. Very important. Again, I want to say it is said like traditionally, this is how under the sala tree he was born. And so I want to again emphasize the connection to nature. These are also different pictures of, the celestial beings and Maya Devi, Queen Maya, and servants were around. And over here, what do you see? This is the Buddha's enlightenment, right? On top, you can see the Bodhi leaves. So this is under the Bodhi tree again. Again, really very important. This is archaeologically very important uh, sculpture. So this one again from Kushana period, Gandhara art, second, third century CE. So Smithsonian free gallery of art. You can see this. Over here, you can also see the Bodhi tree. Again, the connection to the nature, the environment. So he was born under a tree. He was enlightened under a tree. So, and this is that Bodhi tree. I visited here first time when I in 1994. That time actually we could go inside. I was even meditating inside. And right now they have closed the gate. Nobody can go in. So this beautiful Bodhi tree um, is still there. So the Buddha he attained enlightenment under this Bodhi tree, ascetic Gautama. Okay, so very important place of Buddhism. Again, the connection to nature. So in many pictures, you might see something like this, you know, close to the Neranjara river. There's a huge river. And then again, after 45 years of his enlightenment, he passed away when he was 80. And then it is said Mahaparinirvana, the great passing away. You can see the passing away of the Buddha. And over here also, you can see a tree, the death of the Buddha, Mahaparinirvana, in Kushinagar. So this also happened under a tree again. So the connection to the tree, the connection to the nature, the environment, all throughout his life, all the more important, uh, events of his life. It is said three most important events of the Buddha's life took place under trees: a birth, enlightenment, and the passing away. So it's that is why um, the Buddhist connection with the nature, with the environment, I wanted to reiterate today as well. Okay, and so over here you can see the reclining Buddha of the in Kushinagar, and this is a very kind of a painful posture. I have never seen a Buddha statue like this anywhere. A lot of people go there and they even cry, and you can see um, the 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 toes here, the two toes, and one toe is little to the front. So if one toe is little to the front, that is the symbolic representation by the artist to suggest that this is the passing away of the Buddha. If the toes are together, that means he's just resting. So over here, the pain, the posture is very different. And this is the place where he was cremated in Kushinagar. Again, um, my intention actually here is to mention that his connection to the nature. Okay. And over here in Dhammapada, there is a beautiful stanza. Ramaniyani aranyani yathana ramati jano vitaraga ramisanti nate kama gavesino. So forests are delightful, but the worldlings find no delight in them. Only those who are free from passion will find delight in them, for they do not seek sensual pleasures. Some people, they might see it very fascinating, but only for a short while. They don't want to, live there for long, just maybe for a visit. Oh, very nice, beautiful. Take picture and run away. You don't want to live there. But those individuals who have freed themselves from all sorts of passions, all sorts of defilements, they don't have that attachment, but they find these very fascinating places to live and practice. Again, you can see here, I think many of you must have seen the metaphor, um, the simile actually is very interesting. Yathapi bhamaro puphang vanthang ahetayang phaleti rasamadaya evam game muni chare. How a monk should, a bhikkhu should dwell in the community. Just as the bee collects nectar and flies away without damaging the flower or its color or its scent, so also let the bhikkhu dwell and act in the village without affecting uh, the faith and the um, yeah, um, without affecting the faith and generosity of the wealth of the village. So, very interesting point actually when it comes to the monk's life. They should not be a burden to the community. They should live um, harmlessly. Like simple, minimalistic lifestyle uh, can make them a very light-minded people, and they are not a burden to the society that way. So this is again another Dhammapada stanza. Um, Anyone wants to try? You want to recite this Pali stanza?
I can try.
Okay.
Oh, no, the other one.
Okay.
Okay. Pamadam apamadena yara nudati pandito. Panya pasadama ruya ashoko sokinim pajam. Pava batato ba. Bumate diro vale avekant. The wise undispels negligence by means of mindfulness. He ascends the tower of wisdom and being free from sorrow, looks at the sorrowing beings, just as one on the mountain to look at those on the plain below. So also the wise one, the Arat, looks at the foolish and the ignorant worldlings.
Yes. Pamadang appamadena yadanudati pandito panya pasad maruiha asoko sokining pajang pabbatato bhummathe dhiro bale avekhati. You can see when somebody is on top of the mountain, they can see everything uh, down there. Like yesterday, I think we were also talking about that. This is a beautiful picture reflecting the monk looking down those people or their activities over there in the community. Just as um, just as that the wise person, um, the arahanta person looks at the foolish and the ignorant, uh, but not with anger or contempt, but with compassion and generosity, how he can help them. And here's another Dhammapada stanza. Do you want to read this? Anyone else? You want to try?
I can
I
try.
can try. Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Yata sankara danasmim ujitasmim mahapate padumam tata jayeta suchi gandam manoramam tesam sampanasi silanam apamadavi harinam samadanya vimutanam maro magam na vindati evam sankara butesu anda bute putu jane atirochati panaya sama sambuddha savako. Upon a heap of rubbish in the roadside ditch blooms a lotus, fragrant and pleasing. Mara never finds the path of the truly virtuous, who abide in heedfulness and are freed by perfect knowledge. Even so, on the rubbish heap of blinded mortals, the disciple of the supremely enlightened one shines resplendent in wisdom.
Okay. So over here, we can also see the simile of the lotus, as we discussed quite a few times. Yatha sankhara dhanasming ujjitasming mahapathe padumang tatha jayet suchigandhang manoramang te sang sang pang na silanang apamada viharinang sammadanya vimuttanang maro maggang na vindati evaṃ sankhara bhutesu andhabhute putujjane atirochati panyaya samma sambuddha savako. So again, we see the connection to the lotus and the mud and the fully blossomed lotus is just like an arahanta person, enlightened person who has eliminated all sorts of defilements and who has come to perfection, purity, absolute purity. And just as the flower comes from the mud and then not touching the water, blossoms right in front of the on the above the water. This is a very beautiful and powerful example. So, like that, we can see endless, um, innumerable similes, metaphors in the Buddha's teachings related to the nature. If any one of you actually can also do some research on this, very interesting. So you can see the environment. We already have discussed about this in the previous lecture too. So respect for all living things. The Buddha taught his followers to abstain from taking life and to live in harmony with nature. So he has advised the monks not to harm the trees, the plants, the Upasampada monks or the higher ordained monks. They can't even, break plants. They can do it. They if they do so, they break the minor Vinay rule. So much importance. And the water conservation here, the Buddha prohibited monks and nuns from disposing of waste in rivers and canals, as he believed that water is essential for all life. So water conservation. So he was really acting against the water pollution. And then respect for trees. The Buddha taught that deforestation is unacceptable and that trees should be respected for providing food and protection. The Buddha always enjoyed living under the trees, practicing under the trees. So many monks, they have practiced under the trees and they have attained arahanthood under the trees. So Buddha even paid respect to the Bodhi tree by gazing at the Bodhi tree for 7 consecutive days. It is said when he did so, immediately after the enlightenment, he was just looking at the Bodhi tree. Yesterday, I think Mark did something like that. So we were all looking, we were gazing at that red point. So the Buddha was looking at the Bodhi tree, it is said, for 7 days. It is called Animisalochana Puja, as a mark of respect, a token of gratitude to the tree that gave shelter to him for his enlightenment. And when he was looking at that, as Mark said yesterday, we could, have some tears, but when you get into it, then you are like kind of fixated to that, then you will see a different scenario there. Similarly, when you look at this greenery for a longer time, if you could, you can try actually. You might see that the eyesight can improve. And it is said after this, the Buddha's aura was visible. Um, that was another example, fine example of respect for trees. And in Sri Lanka and many Buddhist countries also, especially in Sri Lanka, they respect the Bodhi tree so much. And wherever they go, anywhere in the world, they would take at least small pot. If it is not possible to plant it outside, they would plant it on a pot and they would respect the Bodhi tree. Last time when I was in London, we had a similar experience. So the people want to pay homage to the Bodhi tree, and they just decorated it, and that was just a small Bodhi plant on a pot. So we did a Bodhi puja there. Interesting, actually. So the other thing is living simply. The Buddha taught his followers to live simply and to appreciate the natural cycle of life. I think very important again. Like we live in over consumerist world. We see a lot of rat race, cutthroat competition, and so the Buddha was asking the monks to live minimalistic lifestyle, simple lifestyle, and be content with what you have, and not to worry with what you don't have, and be happy right here, right now, and not to worry about the past, or not to fear about the future. So his the simple living module worked really well for many practitioners those days. So hundreds and thousands of his practitioners were following those instructions and lived a stress-free, anxiety-free, depression-free, happy, content life because of that. So, perfect example for people who protect the nature. And if you protect the nature protects you, it is said. If you love the environment will also love you. Even when you water, the plants, you can connect to them, you can talk to them, you can smile with them, you actually build up a kind of a bond between you and the plant. Similarly, with the other natural things also, you can be connected to them, and they also actually talk to you in a uniquely different language. So this interconnectedness, the Buddha taught that everything in the universe is interconnected. The paticca samuppada is interdependent, interconnected, and harming one part of the whole is the same as harming all of it. So we have to respect, we have to protect. And non-wastefulness is, I think, another very important thing, like food wasting and wasting of food or wasting of other materials. So if you go to any, most of the Asian countries, they use and they reuse. They don't normally just waste things, including food and clothes and other things. So I think this is because of that lifestyle they have. And gentle attitude towards nature, again, very important. You have to be respectful, you have to be compassionate, non-aggressive towards nature. We see today, like a lot of people, those days, they when they see a huge rock or huge tree, they consider there is some heavenly being, celestial being there, so they would protect that. If you see that today, the people today, they would think, oh, this is a really good, profitable asset. I should cut the tree and make some money. I should break the rock and make some money. That was not the idea those days. People had more respectable attitude towards the nature. Water, air, water pollution, air pollution, earth pollution were minimal those days in comparison to today's more advanced, technologically sound, and improved, more cultured or more civilized world. But we see more pollution and more destruction, and the nature also is kind of angry sometimes. It is said sometimes, it is said, if you harm some very important animals, the devas will get angry and they create floods. So people, for example, in Sri Lanka, we have a lot of elephants, and if it is said, if you harm the elephants, the devas will be angry. So somehow, underneath that, the moral lesson is how important it is to be respectful to those um, the animals and the nature. So you must have seen in recent times some Buddhist monks have become environmental activists, and they also protect forests, and they educate people about the environment, and especially in Thailand, they have this. Um, they have this because in Thailand, lot of forests are being cleared now. So monks are trying very hard to preserve that nature. Over here in this Vanaropa Sutta, the planters, whose merit always grows by day and by night, firm in principle, accomplished in conduct, who is going to heaven. Planters of parks or groves, those who build a bridge, a drinking place, or and well, and those who give a residence. Their merit always grows by, by day and by night. Firm in principle, accomplished in conduct, they are going to heaven. So, of course, I think the very nature of this, the very moral lesson of this is the fact that when we preserve the nature, we will see the air pollution comes down and water pollution comes down. We have enough water, we have enough rain, we have enough greenery, and all these things are very important. Um, so, taking care of the nature is a very important lesson. This is the one I wanted to show you, the Thai Buddhist environmental movement. Actually, the slide was little here and there. So this professor of anthropology and Asian studies at Hampshire College, Susan Darlington. So you can see this, the monks, how they preserve these wonderful trees. When you ordain a tree, when you wrap a tree with a robe, those forest hunters or forest, those people who want to cut the tree, they are little scared of doing it. Oh, they respect that. Oh, I should not cut this. Somehow, the monks have done this campaign. It really worked. The ordination of a tree is the book that she wrote. Um, so here we can see this, the Buddhist environmental movement in the modern day. Over here you can see the whole area is completely gone, and a monk standing guarding this huge tree, and you can see the kind of um, um, disaster by those deforestation movement, and then the Thai Buddhist environmental movement to protect these wonderful trees is still a struggle, tussle between them. The monks continue to fight non-violently to take care of the trees. Very interesting. Yeah. Um, can somebody please read this?
I want to read this. And another comment. When I was in Thailand, I saw that, and they they kill trees because they have to plant the plants for the rice. But it's impressive how have many extensions. They just cut all the trees. And part of being in that monastery as a volunteer as well, people stay there for months cleaning the rivers, planting new trees. And I saw that. So it's very impressive, the movement there, protecting the nature. So,
Yeah, very interesting.
mhm. So the Thai Buddhist environmental movement, Thai Buddhist monks wrap orange clerical robes around trees to protect forest. Ordaining a tree is a provocative ritual that has become the symbol of a small but influential monastic movement aimed at reversing environmental degradation and the unsustainable economic development and consumerism that fuel it. This book examines the evolution of this movement from the late 1980s to the present, exploring the tree ordination and other rituals used to resist destructive national projects. Susan M. Darlington explores monks' motivations, showing how they interpret their life religion as the basis of their actions, and provides in-depth portrait of activist monk Prakru Pitak Natakun. The obstacles monks face, including damage to their reputations, arrest, and even assassination, reveal the difficulty on enacting social justice. Even the tree ordination itself must now withstand its appropriation for state projects. Despite this, monks have gone from individual action to a loosely allied movement that now works with non-governmental organizations. This is a fascinating first-hand account of engaged Buddhism.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So you see um, the the length and breadth, the gravity of this situation is very sad. Like in Amazon forest, we can see the government itself is providing some business people to clear the Amazon forest. It's like you know, it's like the lung of the earth, Amazon forest. And recently we saw so much deforestation happening in Amazon forest too. So I think something like this movement could should take place everywhere in the world. Of course, we can't ordain the trees here, but maybe somewhere somehow we have to depend on their culture. You know, the people should do something to take care of the nature. This is a sutta called Sinsapa Sutta, and the Buddha talks about again the uh, the connection with the nature. What do you think, monks? Which are more numerous, the few Sinsapa leaves in my hand, or those overhead in the Sinsapa forest? The leaves in the hand of the Blessed One are few in number, Lord. Those overhead in the Sinsapa forest are more in numerous. So the Buddha wanted to say, like the leaves on his hand are just a little bit, just a few, and the leaves in the forest are so much more. Similarly, the direct knowledge, the teaching that he has already given was like similar to the leaves on his hand. The teaching that he has not taught is similar to um, the the rest of the leaves in the forest. Sinsapa leaves. Over here yesterday also I showed this how the monks respectfully walk around and simple lifestyle and humble living in the forest. So they are very important practices in Buddhism. This was an activity we did in New Jersey last time with Empty Cloud Monastery community. I was leading them to a nearby forest and we were meditating there. It was really amazing. Yeah, so these are the people who join this activity. So it's like a walking meditation. We walk from the monastery few miles, and then we stay in the meditate inside the forest, and come back to the monastery. I think this gives a great chance. You can see also the diversity of the community, like even small little children and young and old, men and women, all different people are really interested in, doing such things. And then when they feel connected to the nature, they also feel respectful to the nature. I think it's a very important thing. Like peaceful walk or walking meditation towards the forest can be a very important thing that we all should do. Have you seen this before? Yeah. You see, what is it?
A plastic bag. You show up.
Yeah. So this is the kind of distraction we have, and also the kind of mirage effect. It looks like a glacier or iceberg, very similar to that, but actually it's a plastic bag. Tons and tons of plastic bags are there. So much plastic in the ocean and the water and everywhere, and we waste so much of them. Lots and lots of I think last time, if you remember, um, during the pandemic, people used to have those what do you call face masks, and then there were tons of face masks again in the ocean. So much, so much. So the kind of damage that we do to the nature is beyond expression. It's very difficult to um, retrieve them, withdraw them from the water once we put it there, and somehow it is mixed with them, and those fish and other aquatic creatures, they are also consuming them, and they get sick, and then people eat them and people get sick too. Interesting. So some of the writings about environment, Buddhist writings about environment, you can see here. Um, Dharma Gaya, a hours of essay in Buddhism and ecology. Then the Lorex wear saffron towards a Buddhist environmentalism. And then there's another one, as we mentioned, the ordination of a tree, the Thai Buddhist environmental movement, the Buddha's footprint and environmental history of Asia. Then get into grips with Buddhist environmentalism, provision typology, the Holy Land Reborn, pilgrimage, and the Tibetan reinvention of Buddhist India. Then sacred spaces and powerful places in Tibetan culture, collective essays, resources for Buddhist environmental ethics. So these are again some of the books, writings written on environmental uh, protection, Buddhism and environment. Dharma reign, sources of Buddhist environmentalism. Then world as lover, world as self, then power of place, the religious landscape of the southern sacred peak in medieval China. Early Indian Buddhism, water and rice, collective responses to socio-ecological stress, relevance to global environmental discourse and Anthropocene studies. Then the practice of the wild and assessment of Buddhist eco-philosophy and Buddhism and ecology. Yeah, so these are some of the writings that we have on environment. Okay. Okay, so I think with that we will come to the exercise session. Uh, who is doing the exercise today?
I am doing the exercise today.
Okay, good.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
The exercise is one of the mindfulness exercises that I teach to my clients, and it's about grounding. And probably you have many other more. We're going to stand if you want it, and we're going to connect with our senses, okay, with the sensations of our bodies. This is one of the exercises. The anchors, the sensations in our feet, our hands, and we're going to finish with an exercise, a movement exercise that helps us to calm down. Okay. Well, we're calm already, but this is what it's very helpful when you have racing thoughts or you don't feel at ease or you are tired. So first of all, you stand and just feel your feet. Just that. Feel the soles of your feet. If you want to close your eyes, it's okay. It's just that. And take a few seconds to feel the weight of your body on your feet. Now, if it's easy for you and for many clients to connect is your hands. Touch your hand, hold your hands. Feel the sensation of your skin, the temperature, maybe the form. You can relax your hands and anchor your attention to the sounds around you. Just be aware. And now, when this is a very helpful movement exercise, when you have a lot of thoughts in your mind, you just anchor your attention, turning your head to one side to another one. And in your mind, just say, for example, I see paintings. Just say the word painting. Whatever you are looking the window, say it in your mind. Lamps, fans, whatever it is. This exercise helps you to be here and now and anchors your attention. It's a process of orientation of your mind. Now we're going to add some movement, and it's very simple. Just this, and again. And the anchor is on the movement. If it's available for you, anchor your attention to the movement and to your breath. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. And we can breathe more deeply, and with the movement, take your arms, inhale over your head, and exhale. Taste your rhythm, inhale, and go deeper in your breath. Follow the movement of your breath with your arms. And when you feel, probably you will feel more relaxed and focused. And maybe this is an opportunity to set an intention. And because we were talking about nature, maybe set an intention related to the nature. And when you feel ready, to just stand and feel again the soles of your feet. Just connect with the vibration of this exercise in your hands. Maybe it's tingling. Maybe you feel warm, more relaxed. Just pay attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was so wonderful. Okay, please give her a big hand of applause for that exercise. Yes. So I want to now ask you, how do you do something to protect the nature? How do you connect with the environment? Your personal experience and your contribution to the nature. Would you like to share?
I would like to share that appreciation is one of the skills that I practice, especially with nature. Last weekend, I was in an island in Wisconsin, and I was amazed that I could see trillions of stars that where I live, I don't see them. So the power of feeling amazed of nature, but also be intentional to expose yourself to nature. This is the way I more care about it.
Thank you. Wonderful. Yeah, being grateful and thankful. The Buddha also did that. He also said it's very rare to find people who are grateful and thankful. The Buddha said, Katanyo katavedi puggalo dullabho lokasmi. Rare is to find those who are grateful and thankful. Yeah. So, sometime to our ancestors, time to our nature, our family, the country, the water, yeah, I'd like to hear more from you. Other people also, different people can contribute to preserve the nature, environment, connect with the environment differently. What kind of activities, what is your contribution, your personal contribution to nature?
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
I don't do anything earth shaking right now, but in my yard and around my house, I consider it a sanctuary of all living things. So anything, no matter what size or shape, if it's in my yard, I look to see how I can help it. So if it's an ant or a bug or a bird or some critter that's wandered into my yard, which have been quite a few, then I try to help them as much as I can and just, send them back into the environment in better shape than when they arrive.
Thank you. Recently, I rescued a bee. We have a lot of bees here, and I saw a bee was struggling on the floor, and I was taking a good look at it, and I saw some ants were, clinging to it, and he was struggling. So I took a jasmine flower and carefully removed the ant. So and then I took the bee and kept it on a plant, so he could I also do every single day, go out and clean the yard, and I see the flowers, I see the vegetables. I really like feel connected to them and go around clean, and then also talk to the dogs. Today I was surprised, and we had some birds, and two little birds, and they were not running away. They were like close by. So I put a little water and maybe some rice or something so that they can eat. I noticed that the birds were also not running away. We have two birds nest here too. We have a lot of rabbits and a lot of squirrels. uh, yeah, a lot of birds also. Yes, I think some way we should connect ourselves to the nature, to protect the nature. What is your experience? What have you done in the recent past?
Something that I do is try to be mindful of the environmental impact that I have, just that my household has just from eating, buying groceries. So I try to eliminate food waste, not try to use things before they go bad, not buy too much that you might have to throw away. And then also my apartment building does not have a recycling pickup, which is technically illegal, but a lot of landlords in Chicago do it. They don't actually have the recycling for the building. And so my wife and I, we've been collecting our recycling to drive to a recycling center, elsewhere in town.
Wonderful. So you were helping on behalf of the others, you were doing that. Yeah, that's a really good thing too.
When I go grocery shopping, I would bring my reusable bag so that we don't take a plastic bag from the store. And like I help to drive some of my friends too. So we would go together and they see me do that and I just yeah they bought a big bag as well and they start to bring it every time with them too. So they would not use plastic bag anymore. And that's more helpful, because when you bring it from the car inside, you just have like one bag and that's it. That's way easier than
Mhm.
a bunch of different plastic bags.
Yeah. Yeah, plastic can be deadly dangerous actually because you don't know what to do with it and they will survive for under extreme circumstances. They would reach far and wide and they will really destroy the nature. It's very hard to, destroy these plastics. Mm. What does Maria say? We don't have plastic bags anymore in Canada? We had to bring reusable bags. Yeah, I think that's a really good thing. Recently, I noticed in Sri Lanka they started Clean Sri Lanka program, and now they clean everywhere, like volunteer groups, government agencies. They work together, and they clean the coastal area. They clean the parks. They clean everywhere, and the railway stations. I see that it's really a beautiful idea. It's not only cleaning, but also, you know, changing the people's attitude. How important it is to work together, like care for other people. Like it's not like here, you're not punished if you just dump garbage here and there in most of the Asian countries. So it has become a habit. I noticed when I was in India, I was surprised. Like people spit inside the house also. Even in the university, I noticed like there are like some corners of the university, like inside the house, and they eat, they chew, what do you call, beetle, and they spit on that. That's very funny. And so people, when it comes to the village areas, remote area, they even do it inside the public transport. They don't care. So it takes a long time for such attitudes to be changed. Yeah, it's very difficult. And for example, in some countries, if you want to smoke cigarette, there is a designated area for you to smoke cigarette, right? And imagine like you use the public transport and somebody is smoking and how difficult it is. And especially here, I think we see people taking like some drugs, and it is very difficult to breathe when you go by the public transport. And because a lot of people who travel, they feel that they smell it. Have you noticed that? In many places, right? So that's another big issue actually here. Even if they don't do it in front of you, but the kind of strong smell will be there inside those the vehicles. And those days it was just beetle and some maybe like cigar or cigarette. Now it is different, even more powerful things. Yeah, yeah. What does Tara say? Can somebody please read it?
We don't see
Mark.
any.
Okay.
Tara, do you want to speak?
I can read it. That's fine. Um, I just pick up the garbage and cigarette butts regardless if I'm in a parking lot or hiking at the lake, camping, etc. Although I do find it pretty gross. I generally have gloves in my car though. And if I don't, well, I go the distance, go the distance. I do keep the disinfectant in my glove box though. I am anal about that. At any rate, I do like sitting under my tree. I'm grateful for that. I have one in particular. I live on 9 acres here, so and then I have a creek that runs through my yard. So I have trees like everywhere, and I love being it's so peaceful. And I like sitting on the one rock by the creek and occasionally watching fish there, but um we always have the deer and the rabbits in my yard. I am very grateful about that, and I like to embrace the nature. The casual gust of wind here and there, the light breeze, and the smell, especially after rain. And reading or studying or just laying doing nothing in a cot on the grass. I don't generally grab a blanket. I'll just roll around in the grass. And even at my age, yeah, I sure do. I just totally rake up a big wad of leaves, in the fall, and I totally run and hit that with my grandkids. But that's an excuse because I will do that when they're not here as well. Shameless. Yes, but that's what I mean. I love being outside. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a very good way to also de-stress yourself, right? If you can go outside, you know, take a good long deep breath, looking at the trees, looking at the stars, looking at the clouds. That's really amazing. Yeah, you somehow we all have to be connected um, to the nature. I remember one time I went to Japan, and that time I saw some young children. They were carrying smartphones, and they were not looking at anyone. They would not talk to anyone. So I'm talking about like 2000, 2007 or 9. Not now. Now it's, yeah, we can see it everywhere too. But those days, it was little surprising because we see these Japanese people, it is said they are avid readers in the past. Even while traveling in the train, like you can stand with so many people, they were like holding books, reading. Even while traveling, they would read the books. And I saw like even in their little toilets, restrooms, they had small books or some painting. They had some very little but beautiful. Um, atmosphere they have over there. But now it is different. They have the young generation. They have this xenophobia because of that. Xenophobia is like they are scared of talking to other people. They're scared to talk to other people, and they are scared of strangers because they don't know how to communicate with others. They don't know how to break the ice, so they always take the phone. They know where to go, how to go. That's unfortunate. um, so I think this attitude, the change of attitude also should be a part of our learning. Environment, nature, also connecting to talking to people, especially humans. We humans, we want to talk to people. And it's really important. But having said that, in these countries, talking to strangers can also be dangerous. It depends on how you, like, if you are in a public place where, like in the university, let's say, or at your office, there are so many people. In a public place, you can also see so many people. So you should know how to talk. You should know um, how to how to make yourself stress free. I think you should know the limit also. Then you can be safe. Yeah, it's important. Otherwise, if people are so much super glued to the smartphones and they don't look here and there, they don't know what's happening. In the recent past, I mean, not in the recent past, some years ago in Sri Lanka, we had a civil war. And that time, even inside the buses, there were like suicide bombers. So we were so scared. And when you go by the bus, sometime the parents would be split, like mother would take the train, the father would take the bus, because one can survive, thinking that they had to, that was a 30-year civil war. And that time we noticed, like, those suicide bombers came as little kids, as pregnant mothers. They came in many different forms, so you can really recognize them. So everyone around is an enemy, a walking bomb. So you can really, super glued to your phone in that situation. Of course, those days we didn't have smartphones. We never had the smartphone actually those days. So we were all very watchful, mindful, alert about such situations. Yeah. Okay. um, so what are the other environmental threats that you consider in this advanced, uh, ultra modern, technologically sound today's world that you find? Plastic is one thing, high consumerism is another, right? What else?
Air quality.
Yeah, quality, yes. Yeah, pollution is a huge concern. Yeah. Even I think, what do you call that? Those the computers and all those waste. What do you call that? Technological stuff, and they are being piled up everywhere. So that also can be environmental hazard, right? Um, Yeah, so many things are there. And I saw one cartoon. It was saying in maybe like centuries later, and the parents would show a picture of a tree to their kids. Okay, this is a tree. There was something like this in the past. So, um, last time I went to Dubai, and we saw the world's biggest flower garden in Dubai. Can you imagine? It's a desert, and they have the world's largest flower garden. And they are also planting trees. They are actually making a lot of greenery. They are investing a lot of money, making so much effort. Um, I think when you have the trees, you don't care of it. You don't really care for them. But when you don't have them, it's so important. Even in the middle of the night, it's so hot. You can go out, the water is boiling. The water is simply boiling, in the daytime. You keep a water bucket outside, it boils. It's so hot at some time. Yeah, this is maybe part of the destruction, that the man-made destructions, right? For example, the wars. You see these the warfares, modern warfares are so destructive, and one bomb is good enough to destroy a huge area and so many buildings, like Ukraine and Gaza, or many like warfares. When it comes to warfares, it was not like before. So it is also said, if there is a third world war, the fourth world war had to be dealt with the arrows, because I don't know, even for that we'll be able to survive. Because the kind of mass destructive weapons that we have are very scary, and that is good enough to eliminate the in certain countries, certain regions, certain like millions of people. Very dangerous. So I think in modern warfare, also the environmental damage can be really, really huge. So although we say like advanced technology, so many things we have today, but our mental development, mental culture is not so improved. So that is one thing we need to think, we need to consider. So, how do we, as single individual people who are less powerful, we don't have like power to take decisions. We are not the decision makers. We are not the policy makers. Then how do we, deal with it? Um, I think what we need to do is it's sometimes it's beyond our control, but we should also try to do our best in our own ways, right? We can change the other systems, but we can change ourselves. And people, lead by example. So if you think of yourself like your own areas, maybe one person can make a big difference and other people will follow you. And we have to make like trendsetters. We have to be courageous to do so, to preserve the nature, to take care of the nature, to take care of the environment. And that will be really helpful to each and every one of us. And the kind of contentment that you get when you do so is truly incredible. So let's do something more. As Mark said, he doesn't want to buy plastic, so he has his own plastic bag. And you also want to take care of your nature, surrounding area, like help others, clean your house and the surroundings. And whenever you see something, you can also maybe even you can create a group like a non-profit, volunteer group. You can go clean some areas. That would be also a very wonderful thing. Yeah, some of the things like if you see like New York City or Los Angeles, downtowns, many downtowns, and maybe in Chicago also, right? Downtowns are really downtown. The conditions are really bad. A lot of homeless people, and also um, the safety, the hygiene is very poor, and so many concrete jungles we have, and then we see the air pollution, earth pollution, sound pollution, water pollution, everything. And then most of them all, I think, the mind pollution. That is the most difficult thing. So here we have to think of the mind pollution. We have to get rid of that mind pollution. That way we can change our attitude, little ways as much as we can, to become more cultured individuals. And those cultured individuals can work together, loop together, and make a big force to reckon with. So we need more people like Greta Thunberg. Last time we learned about her, right? That little girl, young teenage girl. I think she's not a teenage anymore. um, yeah, but tremendously courageous young lady. So we need more people like that, to come forward to take care of the environment. Okay. So as I mentioned, maybe we can take a break now, and after that we will first discuss about um, the Monday program, and after that we'll have a discussion. Okay, 10 minutes, okay? Okay, thank you. See you then.
Thank you, Bansi.
So I'm sharing here some articles again, and I want you to select your favorite one, and then please read. I'm going to some of the articles you must have probably read it before too. That is okay. You want to read the same, or you can read the new. That is okay. And I have a few more here. Please take a look. I'll give you 15 minutes to read. All right. What was your reading? Anyone wants to start? And all the others want to listen? Okay. What was the article that you were reading?
I can go first, Bante.
Okay.
I read the article about Bhutan.
Okay.
And this talked about how because Buddhist principles are very ingrained in the Bhutanese culture, and these principles were also kind of worked into their governmental system in the 2000s. We see that environmental conservation is a very it's a very strong goal of the country, both the citizens and the government. And so the country has actually it set like conservation goals, and it actually surpassed the goals that they've set for themselves. So I thought this was really interesting. And it's yeah, it's another aspect that the article mentioned is the nonlinear understanding of time, that when somebody is acting in this moment, they're not thinking of the consequences down the road as so far away. They're thinking of that in this moment as kind of like part of their action, I suppose. And I thought that was very interesting too. Yeah, that's what I read from it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bhutan is a very small country, but it's a very beautiful country too. And Bhutan's developmental criteria is very different. Their development is measured by the contentment, happiness index. So that's more important to that beautiful country. Yeah, less polluted and less, I think tourism also not much, lot of mountains, and yeah, Buddhism has played a key role in that country. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, please give her a big hand of applause. And yes, did you listen to her? Oh, you were reading your own. Okay, I want everyone to listen to those people who speak, so you learn something new. Who's going to be next?
Bhante, I have a question.
Yeah.
A lot of times when people are speaking, I do make notes on the key points that they're saying because I think they're really good. But is that not allowed? Should I not be doing that?
You should do that. That's perfectly all right.
Because I don't want you to think that, I'm doing my own notes or something when I'm actually focusing on them.
Yeah, that means you are better listening to them. Yeah, wonderful. Who wants to go next?
I read the same article.
Oh,
Yeah, but just to add, relating with Buddhism is every tiny action has consequences, but not just right now, in the future. So you have to think wise. And it's about Bhutan, okay? It's about Bhutan.
yeah. Okay, great. See, yeah, this beautiful country, you need to explore more. It's really, really nice. And I think even Tibet was so beautiful It was called the roof of the world, but I think it is different now. Probably because of the technology, because of the modern development. In Bhutan, somehow it is not so, you know, so-called modern development is not there that much. People are very down to earth, very simple and humble. So that lifestyle is different. Yeah.
Banti,
Okay.
one thing I learned in Bhutan
Hmm.
was the leaders, they're a little bit different from the leaders in the rest of the world because they actually get into the village and they help people inside their own houses and they take part, they know what's going on, they're very empathetic on a street level rather than being in an ivory tower, just thinking what's going on and making more money for themselves.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, we have a comment here like they are too expensive. $100 per day from US for US passport holders because they don't want to encourage tourism. Yeah, they are very conservative. Like other countries are like promoting, tourism. Like in Sri Lanka, we have like I think 3 million tourists so far in this year. Lots and lots of tourists go there. They promote it, and Bhutan, they are discouraging people to go there because they worry about their, you know, pollution and like cultural invasion. Some of those bad habits with the tourism, drugs and all those things can also invade. So probably that's why they don't want many people to visit that country. Okay. Who's going to be next?
I can go next. I read an article. I read two actually. One was on ecology, but it was a short one. So basically, it just I think it just like your comment on uh let me see. That was
Buddhism and ecology?
yes. But where is it again? It
One
was
was my professor actually. Dr. Louis Lancaster was one of my professors. So
oh
I, yeah.
I see. But yeah, basically, my starting point is about veganism and vegetarian. It's well supported by ecology because like human footprint that has way more significant footprint if we eat meat compared with eat plant. And it takes less energy to raise plant compared to meat. So vegetarianism is way better for the environment in that sense. Like it takes less water and it produce less carbon dioxide, less like the gases for global warming. So yeah, that's the ecology. And also I also want to add that for human metabolism, uh, by eating plants, we can promote something called microbiolism in our gut. So, which is it's like a blooming research in the West nowadays. But basically, it just means by having more diverse microbialism in your gut, you are more resistant to disease, to illness, and your immune system is like way better, and you can live longer in a sense. So to me, I have always been impressed by how the Buddha lived to 80 years old back then, like 25,000 years ago, and when with no advanced medicine, he lived to 80 years old. So that's impressive. So to me, yeah, like we definitely can learn a lot from the Buddhist lifestyle and vegetarianism. And then my second article was about, let me scroll to the name, uh, living harmony with nature. environmental wisdom from Pali Canon.
Mm.
And here there was one citation from the Kakavati Sihanara Sutra.
Chakkavati Sihanada Sutta.
Thank you. And it's describing like a dystopian world where with environmental deterioration. So it says that gradually man's health will deteriorate so much that life expectancy will diminish until at least the average human lifespan is reduced to 10 years and marriageable age to 5 years. At that time, all the delicacies such as ghee, butter, honey, etc., will have disappeared from Earth. So, yeah, that's from the sutra, like describing a future that might be a possible future for humans if and the cool thing is I think they relate this environmental factors to human morals, and on the superficial level, we might not see it related, like how can human morals influence at all. But indeed, yeah, everything is interconnected, and yeah, like human actions do have impact on the world, on the earth. So this future might be not that far away if, like, as the whole world we don't work together, and if we still poisoned by greed, hatred, it's possible.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please give him a big hand of applause. All right. So, what do you call it? Microbialism? What do you call it? What is the word you said?
Yes, it's micro biodiversity.
Biodiversity.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, the microbialism just mean like very tiny creatures living inside ourselves,
Mm.
especially in your gut, and
Mm.
they flourish. They eat what we eat, and they flourish over the food that we eat in our guts. So the more diverse food you have, and vegetables, in a sense, they stay in your guts longer. So those those creatures, they have more food, more healthy food to eat, and they will be helping your gut. And they and and then they help, like they friendly. So even though, like, we nowadays we a more sterile environment with like hand sanitize and being, washing your hands, that's good. But for bacteria, in a sense, that's good and bad. So but if you like using antibiotics too often, that should kill everything, even the good and the bad. So yeah, just be if you don't if you have a more biodiverse um, inside you and even on the skin too, then they can help your immune system to fight against the bad one. And yeah, you just be more resistant to like common cold or even COVID or stuff like that.
Mm. Yeah, thank you. Yes, as you mentioned, how the Buddha's time, those practitioners were more healthier than today, is mostly because they were not eating much. They were eating little, one time or two time. And if you eat less, even the cancer cells can be gone. You give like fasting can really make you feel comfortable and better. Like you try like no sugar for a month, and you will see the difference. Even your wrinkling will be gone. Wrinkles. What do you call? And yeah, I think we can see what the way we eat things like today's. In today's context, we have a lot of processed foods, um, genetically changed, improved food, so they are not really very healthy. That's why people get like mysterious diseases nowadays. Some people say, "Oh, I have a disease like 1 in a million or something." They say. So now, very mysterious things are happening because of that, chemical. of all these things. When we keep eating, we never know. Those beautifully wrapped, very nicely presented packs, we are tempted to eat more. You never know. And you also want to go from one restaurant to another, searching for different varieties of food. We never know what's happening inside the kitchen, right? How they cook it, how they process it. And yeah, so thanks to that, people are getting more sick. Yeah.
Santi, I have
And
a question for Mark.
yeah,
Mark, you were talking about the microbialism. Is one example, say for something like the probiotics, like, Activia or, Acidophilus or something like that, they're microorganisms that would assist the gut?
So I would say there's, yeah, people do say there's some certain stuff, kind of to help with it. But to be honest, the best way is like a balanced lifestyle. There's nothing. It's like, there's no detox. There's no detoxation. You just don't toxify yourself, and that's you're good. Like you get drink clean water and eating clean, eating organic stuff, that's good enough. Like you don't really have to do additional stuff to boost your immune system, if that makes sense. Because you don't want your immune system to be too good. Because if your immune system is too good, then they start to attack your own cell, which create like all of these weird disease, as Bate said, like the autoimmune system. Those are because of an unbalanced, like too clean diet. Yeah, it's not actually a word, but like, the concept of you being too clean, too sterile, that's actually not good for you, not good for your microbiome. Because when you being too clean, you kill all these little things, even the good one.
right. I think during the pandemic, we used to have masks all the time, and then some people still use. There was one young boy, I remember. He never wants to show his face. He always wears a mask, even now. He doesn't want to show his face to the other people, only to the family member. See some of the things, some of the side effects. And then again, like they don't have the capacity to sustain some viral fevers or something. They can easily get sick now because of that. Yeah, sometimes we need to get used to, we need to expose ourselves to the nature. And if you continue to be too clean, too protective, that also can be harmful to our health. Yeah, very true. Okay.
I want to
So-
share this. I drink kefir, so I clean these babies every every day, and it's really good with
What
the
is that?
kefir. But there's a living things. It's and they process the milk, and what you drink is probiotics, natural
Mm,
probiotics. But it takes care because you have to wash them every day, and yeah,
mm.
but it's really good. It's my
That's
grandmother's recipe.
very, very good. Very good. We have one Indian family here. They make yogurt. What do you call yogurt for us every day? Every week they bring some yogurt, homemade yogurt. So we never buy yogurt from outside now. You don't have to. And also like we are used to it now. We don't want to eat that, you know, um, stuff from the market. Most of the vegetables and the other stuff we can survive mostly. And I really like that yogurt thing too. Yeah.
On that note, I want to add one more little thing about, to answer Jojo's question in more details as well. So yeah, for those kind of fermented thing is very good. It's probiotic, that yogurt, and also like kind of, pickle stuff, veggie, that's good too. However, those only good when you do it homemade. If you buy them
Mm.
from the store, they kind of adding preservative.
Preservatives.
Yeah,
Mm.
and we don't know, we don't really know when they do, with the big stuff, a lot of stuff, how much of quality. And research has shown like those stuff, yeah, they don't have much of the probiotics as the homemade ones. So if you can learn and these are very, I think, very easy recipe. You can do it at home because humans have been doing it for thousands of years for these pickle stuff, and it's a good way, it's a really good way of making preparing your food more interesting.
Mm. I think every country has some kind of a pickle, right? Like Koreans have kimchi, Indians also have, Sri Lankans have, I think Chinese also have. Everyone has some kind of a pickle, like fermented stuff. Interesting. Okay, who is going next?
I can go, Bunty.
Okay.
It's actually on the same one that Mark did, but it's a little bit different take. Living in harmony with nature and the environmental wisdom from the Pali Canon. Nature and harmony are the two words that always attract me. So I went back to the same words that attracted me the first time that I read it. So I won't go into too much detail, but a couple of things stood out that were a little bit different to me this time. And one of them, the Pali Canon said that they gave a pertinent guidance for today's contemporary environmental challenges. And the Vinaya had something on pollution on the Aganya Sutta and the accounts of environmental degradation. And that kind of really made me stop and think, what kind of pollution would they be facing? We have our pollution now that we think of the plastics and chemicals and all these things. That wasn't around back in their days. But I think certain things, if you stop to think about it, that were there are still present and even impacting global warming, like cow manure. It would have been oxen manure back then, or that getting into the water supply, or certain things, people's waste that they're not attending to the environment. But it kind of opened it, and it's something that I'm going to think on a little bit more, that kind of makes you feel more of the environment that Buddha would have been in, instead of separating it too much. What factors would he have faced that we also face today, and the commonality in it? One of the things that I really liked about this reading was the reference to the bees, that they only take what they need and they contribute to the natural flourishing. And it's a practical model for sustainable living. And the first time I read this, the bee became kind of like my little mascot. So now when I go out in the yard, I kind of, every time I see a bee, I come back to the readings and I remember the sustainability, and, it's something that has become a part of my life now. But one thing that I learned about 20 years ago, and it was kind of a shock to me, it was through the sutras. When I went out into my yard, if I saw a pretty flower, I would pick it and say, oh, what a pretty flower. And I would bring it inside and it would die on my mantle. And through the teachings, what I found was, you don't pick the flower because that's selfish, like the Sept thief. You don't want to remove it because then somebody else is not going to be able to enjoy it. You leave it on the plant for the plant to enjoy, and other people that pass by will get the same enjoyment that you had just through looking at it. So that's something that I kind of wanted to put out there, because that was a really big aha moment for me. And I'm much more cautious now on what I leave in my yard and people's yards as I pass by. But it's also talking about the things that we do internally, the loving kindness, the wisdom, the compassion. When you start with yourself again, then it goes outwards. And once you have the basic foundation inside, then you start looking more towards the outside world. So it's just, again, a focus to come back and review yourself and to see how you can be a better person is what I got from this. So that's basically it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please give her a big hand of applause. Yes. So that being said, how important it is for all of us to be a little more concerned now, little more mindful about our nature, right? I think I invite all of you to be little more connected to the nature. Look at the sky, look at the clouds, maybe the shapes, and listen to the birds, and feel the breath, the cool air. I think outside is amazing. And like when you see many people, like when they see something good, they just take a selfie or take a picture and go away. They don't really enjoy that through their naked eye. They don't really absorb that through the naked eye. They try to do it through the lens. It's okay to take a picture, perfectly all right, but like seeing through the eye is very different. And I think connecting with the nature can also make you more respectful to the nature. Like how you can, think of them, then nature will also be kind to you. Yeah. The trees will be talking to you. You will see, like, if you touch those, petals, rose or flowers, or even the leaves, even the vegetables, and other animals, if you think of them, you will see they also connect with you. Amazing. Um, Having said that, I don't know if you have this experience, but when I was little, I remember I was born in central hill areas of Sri Lanka. So we used to walk. My mom was a school teacher, and we used to walk 2.5 miles, to the school, all through the tea, rubber, and paddy fields. We used to walk through, and then we had a lot of rains. And over there, when we were thirsty, we just had water from just passing by water streams, and they were not polluted. That was very different. Right now, it is different. You can't, because now lot of chemicals are there, so we can't use that water anymore. We see the pollution is so massive now, not like those days. So I think it's important that also the population is growing, and so is the pollution. And then we need more land, then we need more food. So they try to make faster food. And sometimes even if we, like I saw, like in the temple, we get like flowers, and those flowers, for example rose, they are very refined, very different. And when I see the real flowers in the yard garden, they are very different. And so you see, like, we are also used to those artificial flowers more, and people even use colors to change the different dyes to change the color of those flowers. I sometimes feel like, wow, people have grown so much, and they don't really feel the natural flower more important now. They want to buy the flower from from the market. And I used to pick some jasmine flowers every day from here. We have a lot of jasmine actually, and so I offer to the Buddha with those jasmine flowers. Yeah, I think we all somehow need to take a little bit more extra step to be connected. Even think of the ants, you know, think of the bugs, think of the other sentient beings. It's time to see how they also have, contributed to the this world, the sustenance of this world. Have you ever noticed like these ants, for example? I think Japan has done a research on that. Um, the ants have inside their what do you call tunnels, underground tunnels. They have ventilator system, everything very advanced, So like the scientists are making research on that, and the ants can carry like 50 times more heavier than their own weight. So they are amazing. They have transporters, they have informers. So the informers would find the food, and then the transporters will go and pick them. So, things like that. Similarly, with the bees and other birds, and I don't know if this is true, but I noticed like most of the time birds, they live in couples. Have you noticed that? Like we see like only two birds, and they live together, and then they are also husband wife, and then they also lay two eggs, and then two birds again, and they live together. I don't know how it happened. They are really amazing too. Maybe you can do some research on that. Maybe it is different, but I found like pigeons, for example, they are always like that. Some of them. All right. Okay. Okay. I think with that, we will go back to this. Oops. On this. Okay. Here. So on Monday, um, we have the this in-class writing exercise. I really want everyone to, you know, feel comfortable, not really making yourself stressful. And, so we will think of it um, like this is open to all students, DBS and non-DBS. So 3 hours, 4 answers out of 8 questions, and referring to not referring to texts or notes. And we will also provide standard answer script template. And yeah, so I hope you will be ready for that. And Venerable Kongyang will not be there. And so this exercise replaces for the DBA students. This replaces the mock exam. So this is also important for you. And for non-DBA students, this is a new class practice activity with no impact on assignment grade. So why don't you try? You can. I know some of you can be a little slower in typing. That is okay. So don't make it like a big issue. Just do whatever you can and try. Yeah, I think the other things that we already have discussed yesterday also, I think the most important thing is um, the structure, the introduction, the main body, and the conclusion. And if you can, um, the you know while giving some factual knowledge. Examples can be really, and also analyze. Like the way you do now, you can also analyze. That will be nice. Just not only just quoting, but also analyzing. So if you can use some of the Buddhist texts, that is very nice. And I think it is important to plan, how to plan your answer, the outline, key points, examples, and then you can organize well. Uh, 45 minutes per question would be ideal, but depends on you how you do it. Maybe for some, you might need more. Um, yeah. So this is about the in-class activity that we have on on Monday. Tomorrow, yes.
Can I've never done an in-class group assignment like this before. So what do you do? Do we open up our own Word, or how do we type?
So just 5 minutes prior, we will share the question paper, and you can download it. And also we will have the answer script. You can download it. There you can type. Okay. So select four questions out of the 8, and then you can type.
And you said before, you were talking about the index cards. So
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be something that you could use for quoting Digha Nikaya, or the references. So they're not allowed.
Well, I think in the exams, like notes, and we don't allow. Maybe you can try to remember. Try to remember some. At least if you don't have to remember the whole thing, but at least you can say like Satipatthana Sutta, or Digha Nikaya, or just Satipatthana Sutta also is fine. If you remember the whole thing, that's fine. But if not, try yourself. So we don't recommend like it's not like an open book exercise. Maybe you can go take a look, go through your notes, indexes, and I think this is very important. You need to have those indexes, and the more you have it, the better it will help you in even in future activities like writing an article. You need to have a stack of indexes. Very, very helpful. Let's say like you have the exact reference. It's a gem for you. You can keep it for the rest of your academic career. You can use it for many, many articles. Very important to have index cards. Um, you need to have that habit too. Whenever you read something, you find some important quote, write down in an index card, and then write down the page number, the book, the title, and then the author, the place of publication, the year of publication. Those little things, information, can be very helpful. I remember we had some professors. They would not bring any paper to the class, but they would remember like, okay, what the Buddha taught, page number 60. He remembers the quote. Like there are some people like that, because when you continue to use and reuse, it'll register in your memory. I don't expect like you to be like super having super memory, but I really encourage, even if you can't write faster, it's okay. You try, you know, and give it a try on Monday.
The format is in Google Classroom.
Yes, yes, yes. It's like an assignment, like an assignment. We will open it. We have the draft already. We will make it public just before the exam, so you can see the answer script, and you can also see the question paper there. And then you within 3 hours time, you have to submit, just like an assignment. You have to turn in.
But we are going to be connected on the Zoom all together, writing or not?
On the what?
Are we have to connect through the Zoom link and answer the questions, or we can do it in without the Zoom?
You have to write. You have to type.
Yeah, but I mean, we are not being supervised through Zoom. Some tests are like that. You are connected and someone is watching you. No?
Yeah. We just watch you like this. There is no other way. It is your honesty, your sincerity, your truthfulness. That's all what matters. An online version, we don't have any control. Like here, you could also while writing, you could see something. We can control that. It's your mind we need to control. Because you are doing Buddhist culture now. you know the importance of it's okay. We don't need to be perfect. You know, we don't need to be perfect, and you just try your memory. You just try your writing. I think when it comes to writing, it will all flow naturally to you. Okay, that's how it goes. So within 45 minutes, you write one answer and then go to the other one and try the other one. So four questions in 3 hours.
Where are the question list?
Whole question paper will be available to you 5 minutes before the exam.
No, and right now any sample
I think
question.
I have shared the sample answer. Did you see that?
Yeah, model.
Yeah,
I'm
about
confused about how many questions are there because I see
eight questions.
okay.
8 questions will be there. You have to select 4.
Okay. So in the sample model answer one, I see model answer one, but I'm confused how many questions are there in the sample
Yeah,
because I see many subtitles. So each subtitle is a question.
yeah. You can be prepared for maybe few topics like 6 7 topics if you can be prepared, and then 4 questions will easily be picked up. I think
Okay, for
because
yeah.
the topics we have, let's say like we had 18 classes so far, right? So all the 18 some of them are like today's class is connected to another class. So we have some overlap. So you can probably see, okay, these are the themes in the syllabus. So I have to get ready for this. Yeah, think of those topics. And then when the question is given, I can't give you the question right now. That's also a system actually, but in this case, we don't do it. We just want you to, okay, surprise. Okay, like human rights, whatever, environment, Buddhist economy, or whatever. There will be some questions related to these topics that you learn: human rights, Buddha's, like the social situation during the Buddha's time, freedom of thought. We learned so many questions already. I'm sure um, you will maybe some of you are not so used to that kind of setting. Let's do it.
I have another question. I don't know about the exam. How long each question we need to you expect us to write? For example,
the
600
the
words of
the
5.
the entire time period is 3 hours. So depending on your speed of typing, you can write. You remember, not like maybe handwriting. Some people can type really faster, so that's an advantage you have. But if not, you type slowly. It's okay. You try, but make sure. I think try to take like 45 minutes per question. That way you can answer um, 4 questions.
So can I write in Chinese and translate by Google Translate?
So we
I can
normally,
write much more that way.
yeah, you have to prepare yourself your answer. You have your own model answers. You prepare your own model answers and then remember the points. You remember the key points and then explain.
Okay.
Yeah. But don't copy paste that one. Yeah. Just be yourself. I don't want you to get stressed, okay? This is just an activity after the course, after months of our studies. We would discuss a lot, we read a lot. I don't know if you have read so many articles like this in any other class. So it's a process. We learn so many things. So bits and pieces together, you can make a really wonderful answer. Don't worry, you can do it. And that's another experience. Okay, good luck to you. And then see you again next week. So tomorrow. Tomorrow we will summarize the whole thing. I think tomorrow, if you have any question, tomorrow is a day. We will go through the entire course from beginning to end, and then we will also ask questions. You can ask some questions if you have. You can even post your questions in the Google Classroom if you have, related to the course, related to the exam, so that I can be better prepared, you know. All right. Yeah, I know terminology. That's why, like, let's say, like Satipatthana Sutta is a very difficult word. Mahaparinibbana Sutta. I don't think I don't expect the whole thing from you. If you can, that's really good. I remember I was learning Chinese like that. Kept writing, kept on scribbling. That's how I learned myself. So one way of doing it is repeating, like Buddhist monks do, like repeating. And then the other thing is writing again and again. And making index cards, that's as I mentioned at the very beginning. It's a really good exercise too. Good practice. All right. Any more questions? Except the 8 questions. Okay. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow then at the same time. And until then, please take some good rest. Thank you. And may you be well, happy, healthy. Please type one word before leaving. Okay. Good night and take care, everyone.
Good night, Bunty. Take care.
Good night. Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Bante.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Thiruvan Saranai.
Yeah.